All I can smell right now is bacon. It's like 6 something in the morning. I'm never up this early. I just drove to the shop to go grab the Mavic Zoom. On the way here, all I can see is a giant moose ass. I had to slam on the brakes and skid it all over the place. Heart just thumping. That might have been it for your boy if I didn't see that giant moose ass just in time. Those things are really big. I'm good, so let's get this video rolling. You clicked it because you wanted to see a hyperlapse with the Mavic Zoom. What is that? Whoa! Cameras are weird. Let's get this started. I seem to be the first one here to the trailhead this morning. I'm going on a small hike. I've got some camera gear, I've got a couple of drones, and I figured what better way to show you a hyperlapse and mix in some of these fall colors than to beat the crowds here this Sunday morning and see what I can capture. I wasn't expecting a moose to almost shove his ass into my car, but that's a big animal, man. That one had this full set of like bullwinkle horns. If you happen to catch any of the photographs that I posted from my Galaxy on my Twitter account the other day, this is the same spot that I took those pictures. So hopefully I'll be able to capture some cool fall colors. I don't know, you're watching it, you tell me. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see or how I could do a revision of this video to make the instructional part better, or if you just wanted to see the fall colors, how I can make that better. Let's get up there before the sun comes up. Trying to sort of sprint uphill, and when you live at like 9,200 feet, running uphill is a bit tiresome. I'm in a rush. I don't have time to set everything up. That's one of the things about when you're making these YouTube videos. Sometimes you just gotta use what you got. Barely beat it peeking up over those mountains. This is what they call the golden hour. I don't call it that. I call it the sleepy hour because I never like to wake up before the sun's up. However, I couldn't sleep last night, so here I am. For today's video, I'm going to be flying with an old iPhone 7 Plus. I have it hotspotted over to my Galaxy since my Galaxy does not give me a flawless connection. And yeah, you have a Galaxy 8 and it works just fine. DJI has responded to my inquiry about the Galaxy 10 with the fact that it is not supported yet with the Go4 app. So just something to keep in mind if you're thinking of getting a Galaxy 10, you might want to wait a little bit or just go with an iPhone because they seem to support that instantly when a new one comes out. We're going to go ahead and open the DJI Go4 app. Whew, that is pretty. What a pretty spot. Let's get this baby in the air and see what we can get. We got a nice hover, and if you tap your screen, you can bring all your controls back. You can see right now I'm in auto mode. I'm gonna switch it to manual. Woo, look at that. That's pretty cool. Let's do a little quick flyby of just where we're at. I like to keep the ISO as low as possible. Makes your footage a little less grainy. And yeah, I know, I could be using ND filters. I did a whole video on it right over there. If you missed it, I just don't like the trouble with them. I use all my videos and photos for Facebook and YouTube, and the quality without them typically looks pretty darn good. We're gonna just do a little buzz by here. Make sure everything's flying properly. So this is the old Dillon Dam Reservoir I'm flying over on the left, and on the right, that's the new reservoir. And let me show you the difference. If it was in auto, you see what it would look like. You gotta stop it, I guess, to switch to auto. So there you see in auto, it doesn't look half bad. And I do a lot of my flying in full auto, to be honest with you. And I'll do another video explaining that to you, but look at all those colors, man. So one trick and one huge thing that I do see people always make the mistake of, if you're using your yaw, you should always be strafing at the same time. Like if I wasn't doing that, look, it looks so stupid when you just yaw to turn. Oh, look how bad that looks. See the difference in that? That's just me yawing to turn to get the next shot compared to saying this. Look how much smoother that is right there. Oh, it's like butter compared to the other way. Or you can really just get into it and do like a back yaw at the same time. Woo, look at that. Hope my sensors work. The real tricky part, well, you know what? I'm getting sidetracked. We'll save that for another video. That is really beautiful there. Let's bring the gimbal up. Let's go up. Oh, that is just gorgeous. But the sun's coming from over there. So let's see what we can do for a couple of hyperlapses. We'll do one right there. Just a nice sort of straight sideways one. First thing you do is you open up your automated features. and then you click on Hyperlapse. Now you notice you've got a free mode, a circle mode, a course lock, and a waypoint. So it looks like they've made it so you can still stay in manual to do this, which is pretty dope. We're gonna do course lock for this one, and we're gonna just set it to go straight right there, 2-second intervals. Let's bump that up to 7. We get a full battery, so that should be fine. Right there you can see it's gonna take a picture every 2 seconds, and you're gonna end up with a 7-second video. You click go, and then it just starts flying manually on its own. One thing I wanna show you with a course lock, when it's something like this and you're this high, these course lock ones aren't that interesting, to be honest, because the movement is just sort of straight, and if you're up high, there's not anything really moving by the drone. If I have enough battery, I'll do another one where I'm actually going through trees, and that you'll see is a huge difference. Then you just sit there and wait for it to take the pictures. You can see it's taking 175 pictures to make this 7-second clip, and the app is gonna stitch them together for you. So this is a good time to kick back, have a soda, drink some water, have a little snack, and just wait for your drone to finish its little flight. If you are new here, my name is Sean Oz. This is the World of Oz, where I like to share with you my where I like to share with you my weekly adventures here in the Rocky Mountains, telling you about the doodads and gadgets and fun things that I use to make these videos. I'm still not excited that I'm up this early. In a couple of days, all these leaves you're seeing in this video will be gone. And I mean gone, man. Recording. Wasting time. A lot of this kind of stuff is personal preference. Some people like things bright and sunny. I personally prefer flying at noon to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh my God, that's the hour everyone says you shouldn't fly at, but it's my favorite. I love the vividness of the sky and the colors of everything at that time of day up here. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just a matter of how you point your camera and what you prefer. But don't let anyone out there, I mean anyone, tell you what you're doing is wrong. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. That's what it really matters, unless you're really trying to do this for a living, and then, you know, that's a different method. You'll step your game up in a different way. Tip of the day by Sean Oz. So it's now finished shooting. It's syncing all the videos together to make a little mini 7-second clip, which I'll stick in right here. Not bad. Looks all right. I'm going to switch to auto for a minute, and we're going to turn around, and you can click the back arrow right there to go back to the different hyperlapse modes. Oh, that is cool with the clouds reflecting in the... That looks like the clouds are in the water. That is so cool. All right, so we're switching it back to autofocus. See right here in the top right of your screen, autofocus, manual focus. You can decide how you want to focus it, blur it, whatever. See, it's everything's blurry now. Everything's focused, infinite focus. I typically leave that in autofocus, because the screen's so small, half the time I can't tell if I remember to focus. So turning back this way, you see if I'm using the sun to light my subject matter, look at that. Just beautiful. Just absolutely stunning, man. And there's Buffalo Mountain. That's the mountain that I climbed on my birthday 2 years in a row. If you missed that video, that's a fun one. One thing you might want to know is if you're doing these hyperlapses, you might want to have multiple batteries, and I don't mean just 2, I mean like 4 or 5. But what I can do right now is switch it over to camera, and this is something I like to do towards the end of a battery, is take a couple of nice 180 photos. So you go into your photos, click photo, go down to pano, click OK, 180, and then you just click boom, and it does the rest for you, which is pretty nice. But it's definitely something that I like to do towards the end of a battery if I'm close to where I'm at. If I'm still way far away, I'm bringing that sucker back. Right before it hits return to home, if you're pretty close by, you could actually squeeze in a couple of these panos. It's pretty nice. And there's your pano. What'd you think of that? Pretty nice looking shot. Full auto. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and bring it back. Battery's low, switch batteries and get back up in there in just a second. Coming in. Here we go, right over my head. Woo! So if you don't know how to do that, make sure you click that little card right there. It's a video that goes over a few different ways to hand catch and hand launch your drone very safely. If you're in a rocky situation, snowy situation, sandy or dirty situation, you really don't want to take these off the ground or let them land on the ground, because you don't want all that dust and grit up in your gimbal. So that video will help you out. Let's get this other battery loaded and start over. we've got the second battery put in, we're gonna go ahead and get this baby up and do a hyperlapse, sort of a circle one, close by to where I'm at. That way we have a subject, because you have to have a subject for the circling hyperlapse. We're gonna go up over these trees here, just so we don't hit anything. So now we decide, do we want it in manual or not? If we put it in manual, then we need to go through and readjust everything. So with manual, it's gonna stay in the same exposure as it goes around, so you won't get all of a sudden like this weird adjustment. We're gonna go back to hyperlapse. As you can see the setting right there, we're gonna click circle. We are gonna keep it short, and it readjusted our camera, so let's fix that. All right, we got everything set, and now we're gonna just decide the intervals. We're gonna switch it back to 7 seconds. Counterclockwise doesn't matter to me. We're selecting, oh come on, too small, there we go. And you click go. What I like to do when it's manually or automatically flying like this is I keep my finger next to the pause button on the controller, just in case there's an issue. You can hit pause, and what that does is it stops the drone and it tracks. It's a very, very important feature that a lot of people seem to overlook. And again, it's taking 175 photos, and it's just gonna sort of circle around, taking those pictures, and it will stitch them together when it's all done. Oh, it's so slow, look at that. So now as it's getting around those trees, it's actually really close. So I'm gonna run over to make sure it doesn't hit anything. We're good, we're good. It's a little bit like watching paint dry while you wait for these, so keep that finger on that pause button, just be prepared, and you know, hope for the best. We are at about 100 pictures right now, so it completes that circle. It's a pretty simple process to do. It can really be a neat effect to share on your Facebook, your Twitter, your YouTube. Let me know in the comments below, what do you typically share your drone pictures to, or your drone videos? Are you sharing them to YouTube, Twitter? Speaking of Twitter, if you don't follow me already on Twitter, that's the link right there, @SeanUs. That's a good place to follow, because I occasionally will announce a video early there prior to actually releasing it on YouTube.
Shooting is nearing completion.
Gives you a nice little audio for you to hear. Oh, shooting is nearing completion in the sexy Go4 App voice. Not that she's actually sexy, but you know what I'm saying. Something to know is when it is in these modes, the side sensors are supposed to kick in. They don't work when you're just flying around, in case you didn't know that. They are supposed to kick in when you're going around like this. My drone is no longer following the circle. I don't know if you can tell, but at the last little bit of that clip, it just started going straight. Just so you do know, when you are done and if you want to view it, I suggest landing your drone first. But here at the bottom of your screen, you see that little right arrow, looks like a play button. If you click that, it goes to your stored files and you can see what you just did. And that is what we got. Now something like this, I would actually, you notice right there at the end how it sort of went straight, it got off whack. We're gonna go back into normal mode, and I wanna show you guys something real quick. When you have a subject close by, you can get a much more dynamic shot, and it looks way more interesting than just always flying at 300-400 feet. For example, sometimes when you're doing these close by shots, you actually have to turn off your front facing sensors. If you're gonna do this, please be really careful. But it sure makes for some really cool looking videos. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's turn on those sensors again before we do the next hyperlapse. And there's the sun. Oh, I just missed it. It just peeked up. Oh, that would have been so good to be hyperlapsing why that came up. So if we hyperlapse between a tree like this, we're gonna course lock it again. Right there, we're gonna do 5 seconds, 2-second intervals. Boom, straight, and go. Much cooler it is whenever it actually has something go by it in the foreground compared to just being at 300-400 feet. We should have enough battery to finish it, and I'll put it in right here when it's done. If you guys have any other questions about hyperlapse, let me know in the comments. I can charge all these batteries up where I have all three, and I can go over and maybe make a separate video for each type, because honestly, you can make a video explaining in depth each one of these 4 hyperlapses and really see what you can make out of them. There's so much you can do with each one of these. Don't be scared to experiment with them. Get out there and try it. and have some fun. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this video with a bunch of cool colors. Make sure to go through and share your favorite video because sharing is caring, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy.